Oh, there we go. They're the words we want to hear. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming back after last night. I'm so glad that you all showed up again. So today's layout is using the Our Story collection. I'll just give you a quick walkthrough for the layout. I know I did it last night. Are there people this morning that weren't here?
Yeah, quite a lot more.
Yeah, so, okay, so this section lifts down here. So there's a photo behind. You can see it through the frame. Comes down, lifts up this way. Opens up here. Opens up here. This guy opens this way and in there for more photos. And then on this side, got a little pocket behind where this piece pulls out. Just sits in there behind there. It's up, flip up, another little pocket. And 2 pages open, more space for photos in there. I just mentioned to the ladies last night too about storing my layouts in my albums. So what I've done is I've attached it to a piece of chipboard, the stuff that you make mini albums out of. So it's the same height as your layout, but you have an extra ½ an inch on the inner section, and then you just punch your holes. And this replaces the sleeve in your album. So you're just going to put it in, and then you can attach a layout on the back as you would normally in your albums. So there's our layout. So what we need to get started is our bulk pack. And out of our bulk pack, we're just going to need our paper pack. Start with, so if you just keep your papers in the order from the pack, we'll just work through them page at a time. So pop the cover away. So if you have your post-it notes and pencils just to write your page numbering on for me, just make sure you've got those beside you. First paper we're going to cut is family. So 1 sheet of family. So we're going to trim the barcode off to start with. Okay, so with this paper, I want to cut the height measurement. So to cut the height, we're going to turn it on its side. So this time we're measuring from the bottom of the paper. So the measurement will be 10 3/4. So we end up cutting like this strip of lace off. So once again, we're turning it on its side, measuring from the large pattern, 10 3/4. This piece down the bottom is 12 across by 10 3/4 high. We're going to label this one A2. Okay, so it's 12 across, 10 3/4 high, labeling that A2. This little piece that we had left, we're going to cut that down. So we need to measure. We want to keep the admit 1 tag. So we're going to measure from that end. And we're cutting it at 10 1/2. So we're working in inches, 10 1/2 inches. So this little bit is an offcut. We don't need that. And this piece is A1. So it's 10 1/2 A1. So we just cut those two pieces from that one piece of paper. Okay. How are we going pace-wise? Everyone okay?
Laura, we can see you on our little mini screen here, so give us a thumbs up.
Okay. So, ladies, I'm going to move on to the next sheet. If you want longer, can you please quickly unmute yourself and say, hold on too fast, or just give me some feedback, but otherwise I'm ready to move on. Okay, so we're going to take the second sheet of family. Okay, so family, we're going to cut off the barcode. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to turn, actually, no, give me a second, quarter, 10, 2 1/4. That's right, isn't it? So what we want to do is cut 2 1/4 off the left edge. Okay, so you're putting your paper into the trimmer the right way up. So you're just cutting a 2 1/4 inch piece off the left edge. Now this piece is an offcut, but I wouldn't throw it out. It's got a great image in here that you can fussy cut and use somewhere on your layout. So for the purposes of the layout though, we just put that in our offcut piece. So at the moment, this piece is 9 3/4 inches wide. We need to shorten it down. So we're going to turn it, and we're measuring from the bottom here, okay? So it's 10 inches. So it's 9 3/4 inches wide by 10 inches tall. And we're going to label that A3. So like this is an offcut, but once again, great piece of lace to add to your layout when you embellish it. Okay, so now we have A3, A2, and A1. So what we're going to do is just clip these three pieces, A pieces together. So a paper clip or a peg. And then we'll just move on to the next set of papers. Okay. So the next sheet is Forever. So we're going to start by trimming the barcode off the bottom of Forever. Okay, so we're putting it into our trimmer with the paper facing, so the barcode strip was taken off the bottom here, so we're putting it in this way, and we're cutting it at 6 1/4. So my trimmer hasn't got a 6 actually, hang on, sorry. If you've cut it at 6 1/4, that's fine. But what we might do is cut it at 5 3/4. That will make it easier. So, yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay. We cut this at 5 3/4. 5 3/4. So we've got our 5 3/4 inch piece. What we want to do is take 2 1-inch strips off the top. So we're going to turn it this way. We cut it at 11 and then 10. So this piece was 5 3/4 inches wide, and then we've just turned it around and cut 2 1-inch pieces off the top. Okay, so then we're going to label that B1
Sorry.
and B2.
Hi, Diane.
Hi, sorry, I turned mine the wrong way around. The next page, are we going to cut as well, or shall I quickly join the page back?
So which way you cut it 5 3/4 with it turned on its side, did you?
I cut it with the lace on the side. I cut it, let me put, here we are. This way.
If you hold on, we're just going to try to find you quickly.
There we go.
Diane, show us again, Diane.
Sorry, there we are. I cut it, which way did I cut it? This way. I'm just trying to join it back together. Okay, let me just show it to you. You'll know the paper.
Join it back
So
together.
she's done it.
Now this,
Mm,
I cut that one.
yeah.
Was on
I think just join it back together
Okay, I'll be
and
quick.
recut it the other way, and then
Sorry. Early for a Saturday morning, obviously too early for my.
it's all good. Just need more coffee.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. So now I must put it in.
Okay, so turn it so it's this way in your trimmer.
Okay, that's what I did.
Yep, so this way, and then 5 3/4 and cut
Okay.
down through there.
Sorry. Just give me a minute. I'm being
No,
a
you're right.
real. I've just not sure what I've done. Just give me half a sec. Sorry.
It's all good.
Sorry to hold you all up.
That's perfectly fine.
Give us a chance to breathe.
Yeah,
And have some coffee. Don't stress.
yep.
I'll put it right next to me, I promise you. Okay, let me just look at the other page, then I'll get it right. What have I done? Okay, it must go that way and that way. I actually had it right.
It wasn't right.
So
Wasn't
Diane,
it?
Diane,
Hang
have a
on.
look at have a look at my picture. See the way
Yeah.
the pattern is. That's the
Yeah.
way it goes into your trimmer, and you're cutting down.
Yeah. I thought I'd stuck it together incorrectly, but I haven't. I stuck
Okay.
it together correctly. Oh, this is very bad. Okay, I've done a bad join, but I will embellish it. Okay, so it's 5 3/4 with the camera on the left.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and then,
So then turn it this way,
okay,
and you're cutting it at 11 and then 10. So you get 2 1-inch strips on the top. the opposite end to the camera.
See, 11 and 10.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay, so that's B1 and B2 for those pieces.
B1 and B2.
Yep.
B1 is the lace one, and B2 is the plainer one. Perfect. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Right. So I'm just going to do this and then show you what we need to do with this piece. Okay. So out of this piece that we had here, what we're going to do, we won't do it now, but later on, we're going to fussy cut in around this design here, up through here. That's this piece here on the front of the layout, okay? So, but for the moment, we just need to cut a 4 by 4 inch square out of that top area there, okay? So when you do it, you just want to make sure that you don't cut into this image. Okay, so this square is 4 by 4. Okay, so this 4 by 4 piece is B3 and this piece is B4. So at some stage, if you're sitting there waiting for someone to catch up, you can fussy cut around that outer image. So around the lace. Let's see if I can, where's the camera? That looks good. So around the lace doily, up around the top of the frame, and then just around the top of the white flower at the top. So we won't do that now, but that's a job if you're just sitting there waiting for something to do. Okay. So we've got B3, B4. So when we very first started to cut this paper, we cut 5 3/4, so we were left with this piece. Now what we need to do is make this piece 5 3/4 inches wide as well, but I want to keep this image, so I'm going to turn it this way. And we're cutting it at 5 3/4. So you're cutting on the side that doesn't have this circle. So this is 5 3/4. So it's 5 3/4 by 12. And it's B5. So this is an offcut, this piece here. Okay. Now we're going to cut the second sheet of the forever paper. So trimming the barcodes strip off the bottom. Okay, ready for our measurement? So this one, once again, is in the, so we've cut the barcode strip off the bottom. So this camera is in this left-hand corner. So we're cutting this again 5 3/4. 5 3/4. Once we've cut the 5 3/4 inch piece, we're going to turn it around and we're measuring from this pattern and we're cutting at 9 inches. So 5 3/4 by 9. And this piece automatically becomes 5 3/4 by 3. So we've got those two pieces. So B6 and B7. Okay. B6 and 7. So we had this piece, so the same as last time. This was the bit on the side. Once again, we want to make it 5 3/4 inches wide. So we want to keep this, so we're cutting off this side. So 5 3/4. So the little strip we cut off, that's an offcut. Okay, so it's 5 3/4. We're going to cut this one this time. So we're going to turn it this way. We want to measure from where this pattern is. So 9 inches and cutting through here. So 5 3/4 by 9, 5 3/4 by 3. Got the 8. And the 9. Okay, so we're going to clip all our B pieces together now. So all our B pieces, just clip them all together. This makes it easier later on to find all our pieces. How are we going, Dennis?
We have no questions on the WhatsApp group, so I think everybody's following. Your pace is good.
Okay. Okay. So our next paper is called Generations. Okay, so trimming off our barcode of Generations. Okay, so what I need you to do is just grab a pair of scissors. We're going to do a very, very quick, just a rough cut. Rough cut all the way up to the top of there. So just a very rough cut. This piece, once again, is a piece that will need to be fussy cut, but that's something that you can do if we have a bit of spare time. Just at the moment, just cut that out, and we're going to label that one C1. Put that to one side, C1. Okay, so with this leftover piece of paper, we're going to trim this down slightly. So we're going to go across to 4 inches. when you cut, as you see, it goes through. Don't worry about the bottom. We're just narrowing this down. So that's 4 inches. Okay, this pit's an offcut. So we're going to put that away. This piece we had left here, we want this image, so we're going to turn it on its side. And we're going to measure from this image here, 6 inches, cut it through. This is an offcut. So this piece ends up being 8 by 6. And we're calling that C2. Okay. So new sheet of paper, the second sheet of generation. So take our barcode strip off.
Jenny, can I just jump in there quickly? Sure. If anybody is falling behind, you're welcome to ask on the WhatsApp group any questions, and we'll try to answer it there as well. But I think everybody's coping today. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
It's early in the morning. Refresh.
Okay. So when we cut the barcode off, the barcode was down the bottom here. Okay. So what we're going to do with this piece first is cut the height measurement. So to do that, we need to turn it 1 rotation. Okay, so you're going to have this at the top and this in the bottom corner. That's the way we're going to cut it. And when the measurement is 8 inches. Okay, so I'll just repeat that. This is where the barcode was. Turn it on its side. Big image at the top, small image at the bottom there. Cut it at 8 inches. So this piece becomes 12 by 8. And it will be C4. 12 by 8, C4. This piece that's left, I want to use this image, so I'm just going to turn it around and measure from there. And I'm cutting it at 6.5. So this piece is 6.5 by 4. And it's C3. And this bit that we cut off is an offcut. So C3, 6.5 by 4.
Having quite a few comments from people saying they're really enjoying your categorizing the labels.
Okay, that's good. Okay, great. Okay, so now we're going to put all of our C pieces back together. I can't claim this as my own. I did a Vicky Booton online course, and I saw that she, when she cut all her pieces, she didn't label them, but she cut a paper and clipped them together. And then when you needed a piece, she would say, go and to that pile. So I thought it was a really good idea. So that's where I got that idea from. So, yeah. Okay. So this next sheet, Heritage, I'm just going to take the barcode strip off.
pretty on screen.
So we're going to keep this one as full size. So actually use the other side. So we're going to label that one D1. So it's just the full size. We're not cutting that one at all. Just label it D1.
That's the challenging cut, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so then we're going to take the second sheet of heritage, take the barcode off. Okay, so you can see this is the right way up. We've taken the barcode strip off the bottom here. All the books are all facing up nicely. So the first cut we're making is at 5.5 inches this way. So 5.5. Okay, so this piece on the right, because this was 5.5, this one is automatically 6.5. So we're just going to label this piece D6. Sorry, so we're going through our... So that becomes D6, and it's 6.5 by 12. So 6.5 by 12, D6. This is the piece we started with. We cut, it's 5.5 inches. So this is the top of the paper. So we want to measure from the top. So we're going to turn that to the left, and we're going to cut at 8 inches. So it was 5.5 wide is our top. We're going to measure from the top 8 inches. So at the moment, this is 5.5 by 8. We're going to put this back into our trimmer and cut it again. So remember, this is the 5.5 by 8. Now we're cutting it in half this way at 2 3/4. So both of these pieces are 2 3/4 by 8. So we've got D2 and D3. Those two pieces. This was the piece that we had left over at the bottom. At the moment, it's 5.5 by 4. Okay, you can see I've got it wider rather than taller. What we're going to do is cut it at 4 inches. This piece becomes 4 by 4. I think this is 1.5 by 4. It's a square. It's a square. So D4 and D5. Okay, lots of little pieces out of that. Once we have all those pieces, we're going to bring our other D pieces back in. And we're going to clip all the D pieces back together. So that's our D pages done. We're going organised. I just love this paper. It's beautiful. All my colours. Oh, it's so nice. Okay, memories. So we're going to trim our barcode off to start with. Okay, so we're turning it back. Barcode was on the bottom, so back up so your paper's facing the right way. We're cutting it at 5.5. Okay, so this becomes E1 and E2. That was 5.5 by 12 and 6.5 by 12. Okay.
Jenny, this style of flower in South Africa, we have a flower called Cosmos.
Yes, we have Cosmos.
Yeah, Cosmos.
Yes. Yep.
There's a certain time of the year, in a particularly, I wouldn't say ugly, but a boring part of the country.
Yeah.
The Free State, that kind of area, it's very flat.
Yeah.
But these flowers come up, and as far as you can see
Oh,
in
wow.
the fields, it's just covered in them.
That
It's
would
really,
be amazing.
When is it, Cosmos? It's autumn.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
coming
it's
up now.
autumn.
We also get them in the Midlands, Natal Midlands.
Yeah,
So pretty.
it's really cool. That it just transforms the landscape overnight.
Especially because the landscape is brown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like
brown,
really
right.
brown and mist, and then you get these beautiful little flowers just happily flowering along the
Perfect.
side of the road.
Okay, so the next sheet of memories, the second sheet. So we're going to cut the barcode off. Okay, so for this sheet, we're cutting the height measurement. So when we get the height measurement, we turn our paper on the side. Okay, so you can see this is the right way up. Turn it on its side. We're going to cut the height. And the measurement is 9.5. So 9.5. Okay, so this piece here is an offcut, so we won't use that one. So at the moment it's 12 by 9.5. What we need to do is turn it back sideways. Now the flowers are going up the right way. We're going to cut it at 10.5. So 10.5. Okay, so 10.5 by 9.5. Okay, so that piece is E3. So 10.5 by 9.5. Now we've had this offcut. It's already 1.5 inches wide, so we don't need to do anything there. But we need to shorten the height down to 9 inches. Shorten it down to 9. Take a little tiny bit off the top. So it's 1.5 by 9, and that is E4. So this little bit I didn't use. It's E4.
I'm devastated you didn't use it, Jen.
Okay, so that's all our E pieces. We can just clip them all together now. All our E pieces. Okay, we all good to move on? Please yell if you're not, if you want me to slow down. Lara, thumbs up, thank you. All right, so this is the together paper. We're going to trim our barcode off. Okay, so this time we're cutting our height measurement, so we're turning the paper so our stripes are going across the page into our trimmer this way, and we're cutting it at 10 inches. 10 inches. This whole piece is 12 by 10. And it's going in a car race. It's the F1. 12 by 10 F1.
I gave you a drum roll for that, Jenny.
Thank you. It's very, it dropped like a bomb here.
Like the sea fall.
The ladies in the office here have been told to shut up and not interfere with your class.
Okay, so this was the bit we cut off the bottom. It's 2 inches. We're going to shorten it down to 9.5. So 9.5. So that's F2. So this little bit's an offcut. So this is 9.5 by 2 F2. Okay. So cutting the second sheet of together, so trim our barcode off. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but we need to keep these strips. I did use quite a few of them in my layout embellishing, so I probably should have told you that earlier, but I don't think you ladies would throw them away, so that's all good. Okay, so what we're going to do again, we're going to cut our heights. So we want our stripes going across the page when we cut. We're going to cut it at 8 inches to start with. So 8 inches. Okay, we're going to cut this piece again. So this is our 8-inch piece. So first cut is at 9.5 inches. This is 9.5 by 8. Lost track of my.
Sorry, it's 9.5 by 8. Did you say?
Yeah. So we cut 8 first, so that's 9.5. So that is F3. So we had this little bit. So this was 9.5, and then we had this little bit here. We're going to cut that again at 1.5. Cut that one. So this one was 1.5, and then this little bit that was left over is a scrap. And this is F4. So we had this left over from the first cut. I'm going to cut that down to 10.5. So cut this piece down to 10.5. The bit we cut off is an offcut. And this is F5. Okay, so then we can just clip all our F pieces together. Okay,
Jenny,
then
while everybody just catches up,
yeah.
Jenny Spicer's just asking, could you maybe just show the ladies who weren't tuned in last night how you put your albums into, or your layouts into an album with a chipboard? they thought that was quite clever. Just while they all catch up.
it. Oh, you
I did it
repeat
at the beginning.
Oh, maybe
Repeat it.
Jenny, sorry, signed in late. You just do it
Okay.
quick. It's
Yeah.
quite clever. And
Okay.
then everybody can catch up.
Very good.
Okay, so what I do now, instead of putting my layouts in a plastic sleeve, I mount my them on the chipboard. So the same chipboard grey board, called grey board, that you make your mini albums, etc. out of. It's reasonably, it just gives a really good sturdy base to your layout. So it's the same height as your layout, but an extra ½ an inch on the side. And then what I've done on the grey board is I've just put a bit of black masking tape, or you could use gaffer tape or washi tape or anything. And then you just punch the holes to line up with the rings in your album. So as you're flipping through your album, this becomes like a whole page in replacement for your sleeve. So it means people aren't pulling your layouts out of your sleeves, or you're having to try and cut your sleeves to feed these pieces through. So when you flip through your album on the back here, then you would put your next layout. So the left side would be attached to the back here, and then you could go back to your sleeves in your album.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So our next sheet is one of our divided pages, and it's called Love. So we're going to trim off our barcode. So the first thing we're going to do is trim down along the long vertical line. So we're going to cut that way first. Then you'll just cut this into 2 pieces. And I just trim off that white edge. So this will be, we'll leave this piece solid. Got G1 and G2. G1 and G2. So out of the remainder here, I only use the date due piece at the top. So we just need that card there. And then that is G3, and this can just go in your offcuts.
Yeah, I must compliment your style of teaching. This is the quietest we've had delegates ever in an online class. There are no questions, they are following.
Very good.
Just a bit worried that they've given up.
No, I can see their faces here.
They're all
Scrapping
concentrating.
away.
Okay. All right, so we've got that one. So the next one, Traditions, is also one of our divided pieces. Okay, we're going to trim off the barcode. Okay, so we'll start with the long cut again. Okay, so we want to separate this top piece here. So we're going to call this one H1. That top piece is H1. Okay, so with this one, I only use this one here, so we'll cut that out. I didn't use this piece. So this one is H2. What, H2, that piece there. Okay, so on this side here, I just used this top one and this one here. So just cut those two out, please. Three. I probably forgot to tell you before as well, maybe the G pieces, if you want to clip them together, sorry. So we can put our G pieces together and then our H pieces together as well.
Jenny, we have Angela Lotta joining us at your PE class, and she says after seeing the video, she's a lot less nervous for Wednesday's class.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. We just take it easy, just go with the flow. It's all good. So we've got a couple of fussy cut sheets that you have probably already cut out. And we've still got this one sheet we're going to cut. It's off cuts. Think we're right to move on?
Laura's shaking her head. She's ready. Nodding her head.
Nodding?
I
Okay.
was gonna say she's shaking. Oh, nodding.
Okay, so we're going to cut the barcode strip off the bottom of this. So what we're going to start to do is we're going to cut the two vertical lines divided into 3 strips to start with. Okay, so what we're going to do is the one on the right hand side here, you can see it's got plain red on the bottom and it's got the little banner, heart banner on the top. We're going to label that one I4 to start with. Okay, just pop that to one side for a minute. So this one in the center that's got the 2 word sentiments, we're going to now cut and divide it into the 2 pieces. Okay, so I didn't use the green one, so that can go in your offcut. And the red one down the bottom, we're going to label that I3 to start with. How are you going this time, Gundi? Are you doing any better? Look at that. Perfect. Okay, so this one, we're going to cut that into 2 pieces. So the green one is I1 and the burgundy one is I2. Okay, so we just have a couple of little fiddly bits to do now. I'd like you to take I3. This one is I3. So what we want to do is just cut out the center. So I'll just show you. So inside the wooden frame part of it, just going to take this off. Like through. So we're taking out the center. So that frame piece stays as I3. This inner piece now becomes I5. Okay. Once we've done that, we're going to go back to I4 and we're going to cut the inner red section out of the bottom piece here. So we need to keep the inner piece. It becomes I6. Once you've done that, we can just clip all those pieces together. Then we're going to score. So for the next step, we're needing our scoreboards. We'll just wait for the last people to finish trimming those up. But if you're ready for the next step, if you'd like to just find your scoreboard. So it might now be a good time just to get organised as well. So if you want to put your pieces piles in order, we're going to start at our A pile for scoring.
Seeing as we have store owners here in the class with us, so we'll keep this anonymous. But, one of the store owners booked to come on the event and had a customer wanting the Our Story bulk pack. So she sold it because, you know, when you're a store owner, you do things like this. And now she's watching and can't do this. She's like, James, do you have it? I'm like, we're sold out. She's like, oh, I've sold it.
I think I've got.
Okay, I'll put you in contact with the person.
Yeah.
The person of that.
But I have no samples of our collections because when we sell out, the people are like, don't you just have one? I'm like, okay, yeah, it's my sample one. But
I think I've got 2, maybe 2 or 3.
Okay, can I just check, is there anyone, if you're not ready to score, please just give me a
thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Anybody need more time? No? Okay. So what we're going
Yeah, somebody's asking.
for,
Have you stopped printing the beautiful one with the Proteas?
Just say that again, Joe, you broke up.
Have you stopped printing the ones with the Proteas? What's the family ties?
So it's not a case of stop printing. We print a set amount, and the nature of litho doesn't allow us to do reprints.
Okay, I need an extra die without it.
Joe, speak to
Sorry.
your dealer.
Speak to your dealer, maybe she can organize.
One. Thank you.
so friends, I'll just quickly explain with my scoring. If you use a scoreboard or a trimmer, or you've just got a mat and you're using a ruler to score with, this is the direction the paper always needs to be, the way that I put it. And the measurement is always from the left edge over. So for this first piece, A2, we're scoring at 2.5 inches. So 2.5 in from the left, and we're scoring down through our paper. So 2.5. So A2. Then we're scoring A3. So A3, we're scoring at 2.25. So A3 is 2.25. Okay, we've done scoring A, so just clip them back together. So B pile, first one is B5 we need to find. B5, just this large piece. And have a look at the direction I've got B5. So I've got the small lace piece on the right, the majority of the pattern is down this end. So we're measuring from this end across. So this piece has 2 scores in it. Both of the measurements are from the left edge. So we've got 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and then 9 1/2. So the 2 scores were 1/2 inch and 9 1/2. We're going to score B8 next. So this is the direction. The circular piece needs to be on the right. And this one is 1/2 inch. So B8, 1/2 inch. We're going to score B7.
Jenny, if somebody's going to take up interactive scrapping, a scoreboard really is a much quicker, easier.
Mini albums, interactive scrapbooking, you definitely need a scoreboard.
And you need the big one. Don't go for the little
Yeah,
one.
not the little one, the big one. Yeah. Okay, so B7 is 5 1/4. So 5 1/4. Okay, so now clip all our B's back together. From our C pile, we need piece C4.
Can you repeat, please? B7.
B7 is 5 1/4. So B7, 5 1/4.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so we're looking for C4.
This could be explosive.
Okay, C4 is 7 1/2. C4, 7 1/2. Okay, that's it for C's. No scoring on D. So we need our E pile next. So E2, make sure your flowers are going up the right way. We're just scoring this one at 1/2 inch. So E2, 1/2 inch. We need E3. Okay, so E3, see how your flowers are going this way? We're going to turn it this way. Okay, here's the top of the page is from the left. We're measuring from the top down, and the measurement is 5 inches. Okay, so E3, flowers are lying on their side. Measure from the top, 5 inches. Okay, when we've done that, put our E pieces all back together. Okay, going to find our F pile. First one we want is F3.
Jenny, can I ask you just while people catch up? There's a
Yeah.
few people just asking if you can recap the story.
Sure.
Can you
On
just
all
take-
of them?
Yeah, just a verbal, perhaps, recap. It's people on Facebook.
Can they see that?
They should be.
So A2 was at 2.5. A3 was 2.25. B5 had 2 scores, 1/2 inch and 9.5. B8 was 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. B7 was 5.25, 5.25. C4 was 7.5. E2 was 1/2. So E3 was turned on its side and it was at 5 inches. And then we're back to where we are.
Thank you.
Is that okay?
Yes. Getting lots of love on the line for you, Jenny.
Oh,
Kim from a place
Jen.
to create in Brisbane. Sending hi from all your fans. So what can you?
Oh, that's so nice. Okay, let me regroup. Okay, so we're back to F3. So we're putting it in. See this, how it's labeled, it's on its side. So our stripes are going across the page. If you look at your measurement, this should be 8 inches. We're going to score this one twice. So I just need to move my little label. Okay, so we're scoring it at 1/2 inch. And then it's 7.5. So 1/2 inch, 7.5. Okay, so that was F3.
I think we still have a few people who are just scoring with the ruler.
Yeah,
So yeah.
Yeah.
Can slow it down just a little bit.
yeah, sure. Can you, sorry, I think Dennis to make me a piece of toast. Sorry. Okay. Next one we're doing is F1. So this time our stripes are going up and down this way. So across the top, you should have 12 inches. And we're going to score it at 2 inches in from the left. So 2 inches. So 2 inches in from the left for this one. Okay, we've finished with our F pieces when you've done that.
Okay, Laura's saying you're going a little bit fast. Oh, Julia, thank you for being kind.
So Lara said too fast.
Laura said a little bit too fast.
Sure.
What do you think? Being kind.
He put this photo of me doing ugly stuff, like behaving, and said a very well behaved Sandy and Benita. Who knew? And Julia said, I'm always well behaved.
No,
See?
good on her.
And Enid gave a little wink and a heart.
That's very nice. I do forget how quick See, the scoreboard, you just put it in and you go. I know, sorry, some people are measuring and then scoring, so it does make it a bit harder. So
we've done F1 and F3 so far, correct?
And it's
Correct.
done now.
and the Fs are done. So I'm just making sure that we're all doing okay. So I didn't score any G pieces. So I just need to score H1. It's the last piece of scoring, ladies. So with piece H1, I've actually just need you to turn it to this way. And it's just at 7.5. So I'll take my tag off. So it's piece H1, turn to this side, and scored at 7.5. Excuse me, sorry. And that's all the scoring done. So Sandy, have we got anyone that's, does anybody need me to repeat any score measurements or go back
No.
over them again?
Nobody's checked anything.
What was the scoring for F3?
So F3 was half and 7.5. So F3, I'll show you again. So F3, the paper needs to be in this direction, and it was 1/2 inch and then 7.5.
We have a great question from Anne. If you are battling to keep up, this is all being recorded and will be made available on our YouTube channel today still.
Oh.
And I miss your pronunciation of H.
H.
Dennis, quickly, I wanted to say, so I have a centimeter trimmer, score pal. So I'm winner, loser. So
Laura, I'm going to leave you to fight that battle with Jenny.
Laura, are you making your problem ours?
no, what I want to tell you is, so what I teach my ladies, because you know what, I don't want them to go buy another one. So I did type it in the message. I just use my trimmer. Okay, so I have a Fiscus trimmer and a Cricut and all those. They've got a groove. So I just use my stylus and I put the thing that needs to be measured, and then I make my line with that. It's much easier than measuring with the ruler. So that's just my. Okay, so when you don't have an inch trimmer, that works. Okay, I'm muting myself. Bye.
Thank you, Lara. I appreciate that. It's always good to have different ways around things, you know, to help people. I know
my favorite Lebanese girl.
some people unfortunately have trimmers that have that wire in them though, which makes it a little bit harder, but we're there. We're almost done. Well, we're finished scoring, so we can
just one more request.
Sure.
B6 and B7.
B6 and 7.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'm going back. Sorry, D6, was it?
No, B6 and B7.
Sorry, is my cutting annoying you?
No, I didn't score B. So I scored B5, scored B8 and B7.
Okay, what was B7?
Okay, so B7 is 5 1/4. So down here. 5 1/4 for B7.
Awesome. She sent a thumbs up.
Okay. So we're all good. So ladies, when you finish scoring, it might just be helpful just to get yourself a little bit organized again. So just put all your piles in order, just so it's easy to find your bits and pieces. And we'll be getting ready for the assembly stage. So glue, tape, whatever. Just for the very first step, you'll need some sort of tape. We're joining two pieces together to form a base for the first piece.
While we're waiting, Jenny, we have Marlene Cooney saying hi from Tasmania.
Oh, hello. Hello, Tassie. I love Tassie. It was one of our favourite
Yes.
holidays.
We're definitely going there when we go to Oz again.
Yeah, most definitely. I'd love to take you there. That's just one of those have to go places. Thank you.
Jenny, we're about halfway through this class. Could we maybe just take 5 minutes for everybody to have a loo break,
Sure.
have a cup of coffee?
Yep.
So okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so we'll be back. Yeah, 5 minutes. Maybe just get yourself a cup.
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
10:30.
Okay.
10:30.
10:30. So go get a cup of coffee, loo break, and we'll see you at 10:30. If you got any questions for Jenny, Sandy, Bonita, just fire away. Unmute yourself and chat.
Dennis, you need to get your wife a new trimmer.
Soon to be cutting all the paper.
It is quite amazing how small the world is on
Yeah.
Facebook. We've got so many people joining from Oz and New Zealand,
That is amazing.
and yet we're all together scrapping different times of the day. Quite
It's cool though, isn't it? Isn't it amazing how craft can bring you all?
It
Amazing.
really is.
Yeah, it's the world is really small.
Yeah.
It's like really small.
And the purpose of getting Jenny to do the online was actually to get her familiar with it, the classes. So she doesn't have to be in South Africa to do that.
Amazing.
We can stream this from the Oz.
Yeah.
To this side.
Actually, my son-in-law's footy will just be recorded and I can stay here.
There we go.
I think it's a good idea. You know, I think so. Trying to do that.
Yeah, but it's just incredible how small the world is. Really.
How are we going? Any questions?
No, we've got no questions. We were just saying how small the world is. We've got people from Australia, New Zealand, South Africa.
Well, it just proves in the future we could.
We just said that. We said
Yeah, we've
we're
got great
hoping
plans
you're
for you.
enjoying online. We've got big plans.
Online is really cool, isn't it? And I think what a lot of the ladies have said to me as well is this, that there's no other interruptions. So there's nobody else interrupting you because you're pretty much either on your own or with your group.
Yeah.
But you get to concentrate that much easier and it actually makes it less stressful.
Look how quiet we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get around.
Diane, don't freak out, Diane Muller. I'm just going to quickly add you on the spotlight because I keep seeing this angelic being with a halo. Do you see it? Look at that halo behind her.
Good giggle.
So someone's asking where they can get large sheets of chipboard. In the Hilton area? Is it? You just
From my dealer.
From your dealer. Oh, is it Joe?
Joe, one of your
Yeah.
girls.
Joe's one of my girls,
Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually have somebody here in the office who can make these for us, Benita.
Yes.
So maybe you can chat to Sandy and some of the other teachers, Laura, Hannah, and get these made and punched.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Benita will
Yeah.
put the holes in everything for you.
I know that my new stock, I paid for it last week, so my new stock of board will be arriving. I'll pick it up when I get back.
But I think, yeah, Benita, this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I cut on demand.
Yeah, and she cuts square,
cut
and she can
anything.
punch holes.
Yeah.
So a pre-made pack of 10 maybe.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'll put Laura in contact with you. We've got a few store owners that have joined us here today. I just see Laura sitting there. Wave, Laura, smile or something. Goodness, you look so serious.
I'm watching Sandy's Family Ties book.
Oh, is that what you're doing? Oh.
Yeah, I was seriously concentrating, you see.
Okay.
Concentrating. Are you missing me?
Oh, I was crying. I was crying when I saw you
Oh, you make my heart happy.
sobbing. I know, I'm so cute, man. Flip it.
You're so Miss Laura.
Yeah. No, because I don't know. Do I want to do, because there's no more Family Ties. I think my last one sold now. I've just seen it go through the website. And I'm like, do I want to do Jenny's class or do I want to do Sandy's class? I'm like,
Hey, Jenny.
So I feel like I'm letting Sandy down, but Sandy knows how I feel about dust collectors.
So they're gifts.
Many
You're making somebody else's dust.
It's a gift.
Little
Somebody
bits,
else's
I
dust.
get like Tourette's. Like, Sandy, how do you dust them all?
They don't have mind dumps, so it's not the same amount of dust.
Yeah, we have dust, man. I promise you wipe down and then 2 hours later you wipe again. And I hate dust. I hate dust so badly.
Glass case bookshelf.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Glass case.
Yeah.
Dehumidified and lockable. And
Exactly.
yeah, they are works of art after all.
Oh no, I love them. I've got lots. I do lots of them. So now it's like I'm going to put like a little piece of paper, scribble them and choose a hand because I don't know which one to do.
But making mini albums and putting photos of them is 2 different hobbies.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, even scrapbooking, when you're a teacher, we've got thousands of layouts, no photos.
Well, you can
you
see.
need to go on holiday more.
But when your kids are big and then you say, can I take photos? They just look at you with this death stare. So you don't get photos anymore. Like you got to bribe them. Like, I'll take you to dinner. Oh, okay. And then they pose and I'm like, whatever, horrible children.
Can I just tell you
I
they're
need
just
to-
the world over?
I know. So I just need to find other children, I think, to take photos of.
Like rent a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, we've got lots. I mean, I've got like 40 cousins, but all their kids are the same age, so they're all miserable.
Well, my kids are still young, and 20 Rand goes a long way.
Yeah, no, you give an adult 20 Rand and they're like, whatever. So I've had such a great week. A month ago, Demi either drove into a pothole and wrote her car off or slowed down, and then the Nigerian man wiped the back of her car out. So that was cool. We've sorted that, car's back. Wednesday, Erin phones me. The robot goes from green to red, doesn't have an amber. So obviously the man in front of her knows this. So he stops at the green robot. So she hits into the back of him.
No.
At 60. So I've had a lovely week. So no, they don't like me and I don't like them so much. So we're having a lovely time here. Because I'm going to be insurance. I'm going to be insurance-less in like 1 month.
Well, listen, there's some lovely sentiments on family ties that might bond you together again.
Yeah. No, but you get a fright. And I was now with all the ailing geriatrics in Cape Town, and my child's in at the hospital checking out because, I mean, she hit herself hard. But then you feel bad that you're not here. And then you get home, can I take a photo? No. So then you're over the field there.
So do you want to
Sure,
wait?
no, they
No
love
photo.
me. I do love them, I promise.
I think this is why I won't ever have my own biologicals. I'll have my chojos at school for a year and then they can bugger off to the next grade and the ones who like me will come back. Otherwise, it's fine.
No, you don't want them to come back. Imagine 10 years in your class and then they're like 20.
They'll come back and visit.
Okay, that's all right.
Jenny, you were out the room. Laura's just dissing her children.
Oh, really?
That
Oh, no.
album's going to be blank.
The one
but-
kid wrote
but
off a
Jenny-
car and the other kid had a bad accident in the other car, so it's
Oh,
not going well.
No.
Yeah.
On the good side, Laura, you can get quite a few steps in then while you're waiting for the cars to be repaired.
No, we've got the, what do you call it, where you get car hire. So that's not a problem. But then she says to me, you know, if I'd been in your car, because my car was at OUR Tambo, you know, my car's got bad luck. Is it? You would have written my car off.
Okay.
So I'm so glad my car was at OUR Tambo. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Are we ready to
Okay,
go?
yeah, we're 2 minutes over. So let's
Shocking.
Laura, I've muted you. Laura and Joe get muted.
You are the weakest link.
Because they love a mic.
It's not open mic now.
No, Joe, muted. Okay, Jenny, I think there are some people still missing if their cameras here, but we
Okay.
did tell them hop past and past. Oh, there we go. Brigitte's back. Diane Muller will just have to catch up. Jenny, can I just do this? And the spotlight. It's just the halo. The person's not there, just the halo's there.
It's transcended.
Oh, no, what have I done? I've made her the spotlight. Hold on, sorry. What am I doing?
Remove spotlight top left. Go back to you. Add spotlight.
That's spotlight. See, I mustn't fool around.
Spotlight, yep.
There we go.
That'll teach.
Okay, yeah,
So ladies, we're back.
we're back.
So from our piles of paper, we are going to start with E1 and D6. So D6, we're using the wood grain side. These two pieces will form the base for our layout. So what I generally do then is I'm going to, so I know it's this way, my flowers are up the right way, so this is on the left. So then we're just going to flip it over to the back. And then just line it up. So you can use, I know some of the ladies in class have used like a masking tape, or I just run a strip of tape down this join. The alternative is if you have a piece of cardstock and you want to put it firmly just straight down onto it. Then I just run a little strip just to stop the joins opening, top or bottom. Excuse me. So that just forms the base of your layout. So I'll just leave that there. If you use the chipboard method of mounting your layout on the chipboard, it will just make it all the more secure once you have something solid to put it on. Okay. Once you have those two pieces stuck together, the next piece where we're going to be working on is A2. So if you'd like to locate your A2 piece. So it's got a score line. So if you're just going to fold it both ways. So this time, this part of this piece is how we attach it. Okay, so this is where we're going to put our tape on, just around the 4 edges of this piece here. This piece, this is where our fold line is here. So it's just this section there.
She says on your written.
Yeah,
notes,
they are the other way around. Okay. So
Turn it
they,
upside down.
no, the flowers will be upside down there.
Oh.
How attached are they?
Can we just cut it?
Just cut it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies, I've made a mistake. Thank you so much for pointing it out to me. We need to recut this. I'm sorry, this piece needs to be on this side.
Friend of the guillotine.
Do you want guillotine?
Thank you for who?
Who was
Helen.
Helen, wasn't it?
Thanks, Helen.
Thanks, Helen.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, I'll do it. Okay. So what we need to do is we'll just recut this through where we've joined them together. I made a mistake, Dennis.
Oh, no.
Thank
Yeah.
you. You're fixing it. Scrapbooking.
Because that's how we roll scrapbook.
You know.
If you know, you know, right?
Thank you. Do you want to?
That's a pleasure.
Okay, so it needs to actually be this way. Sorry.
It just means the outer sides are strengthened because they've got a bit of tape on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
To put to your chipboard.
Exactly.
I'm really sorry, ladies. Oh, man, not cool.
Sure, thank goodness for that. It's not perfect. I don't have to follow in your footsteps.
I'm just going to blame being sick.
See what happens when I leave the room.
That's what it was. It was Dennis.
We need a halo above your head.
I know, right? I keep telling Erin I'm special. She doesn't believe me.
Very special.
So sorry, ladies, I'll just give you a bit of time to catch back up on my mistake.
You see, we can't pick up things like that because you don't have notes.
Oh, man.
You know what?
Ignorance is bliss.
You know what? We're human.
Yeah, but doing it live in front of everybody, that's not cool.
No,
And
it's,
recorded and
Yeah.
uploaded to
Everything's-
YouTube forever.
Oh, Dennis. Dennis.
it's so cool because it's
Pass out
normal.
in a moment.
I make mistakes all the time.
We all do. I've done that. You do this and you put them together.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot.
So Wendy Murray from New Zealand is
Yes.
still watching. I don't know what time it is. Oh, it's
It would be
Almost-
22:11.
almost 11 at night.
Around 22:11 now.
That's commitment, eh, Jen?
Yeah, definitely.
Commitment to scrapbook.
I know. Wendy's amazing. Okay, can I just check? Are we all okay to move on to sticking down A2? Let's get ourselves back on track.
So Kerry, Laura, Diane, we see your faces outside. So if you're happy, just give us a thumbs up.
Perfect. Okay.
3 thumbs up.
All right. So here's piece A2. We've got our bit there. We're going to fold that to the back. Gets attached right up on this right edge. So the fold is right up on the edge, and then the same gap top and bottom. So it will flip open like this. Okay.
It's only 8:40.
What time is it?
8:40. So not too bad.
That's not too bad.
Okay,
I thought
so
it must be.
at home at the moment it's 6:41, so they're 2 hours ahead of
Oh,
us.
okay.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So only
Maybe daylight.
10 hours. What's it? 10 hours.
Yeah.
10 hours.
So we're all good. Folds over. Right up on this right edge. Six. Okay, so now the next piece, I6, I've just used as a little tiny filler piece. It's just going to go in the center here. I'll show you on my layout where it goes. So basically, it's just this piece in the center, just gives us a little bit more interest when you put your photos in. So the piece is I6. Now, if you have a look, it's just kind of tucked into this space where this doily is. Is everybody cool just eyeballing it? Anyone want a measurement? If you do, it's 5 inches up from the bottom and 2 3/4 in from the right edge. So 5 up, 2 3/4, otherwise just stick it down. 5 up from the bottom, 2 3/4, but otherwise we're just going to stick it down. It's not one of those pieces that it's super critical exactly where it goes. It's just going to be there behind the photos when you put your photos down. So is Wendy scrapping or is she just watching? Did she say?
She'll probably answer now. It's a slight delay on Facebook.
Yep.
We discovered what they have, like a 10-second delay. We think it's to moderate you Aussies, and you know your language, hey? I think
Someone
Wendy's-
maybe did clap for that.
Sorry?
Say that again, Joe.
Never mind, it was funny at the time. It's not funny now.
We'll try to be quicker next time.
Sure.
Sharper.
I told you, you've got to be fluent in Joe.
Yes, I would.
A microphone on this old fossil of a tablet I'm using, I think.
Wendy says she's just watching tonight.
Okay, that's good. Awesome.
We love your commitment, Wendy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because yours will be.
Did you just say yeah?
I
to
did.
New
The
Zealand,
midnight
huh?
shift, yeah.
Okay, so the next piece we need is B8. So B8 has a score line down this edge. So the tape is going on the cream side down that section there. So this is one of the pieces that is going to sit flat. So we're not folding the score line to the back or the front. The paper sits flat and flips up. So the measurement, so the placement for this one is, so see this fold line here? We're going just ever so slightly to the left of that. And once again, it's centered on this piece. So same gap, top and bottom. It's attached here, flips open. It doesn't line up with this line here, so don't stress. It will go over onto the wood grain. Okay.
Unzip. Unzip.
So I'm watching Gundi. She's doing well. Perfect. So the next one is B7. So once again, it's got a score line and the tape is going to go on the creamy side. I just like to give it a bit of a fold before I stick it down. Okay, so when we stick this one down, it's flat like the other one. It's going to line up with this one. So lining up in the center, there will be a gap on this left edge. So it attaches here. This one flips this way, this one flips that way.
I love this part. Seeing all these random cuts, kind of like they weren't random.
So when you're putting things together, yeah, you kind of often end up with like a piece that, okay, so you've cut this off, so you've got this piece left, and then it just fits in somewhere. So while you think it's random, yeah, it's just, yeah.
No, you're special.
Yeah.
You are.
Very special.
No, Dennis.
We
Special.
both love receiving compliments about how special, unique.
We have a special day where we do this self-appreciation thing,
We
and then
actually do.
not allowed any other day.
Okay.
So yeah, we have, it's a Wednesday.
It's a
for Jenny and
Wednesday.
I, and we only compliment each other on a Wednesday. Then the rest of the week we crit each other.
Ah.
She tells me, why did you put that page there? And this one flips the wrong way. But a Wednesday, none of that.
So usually shows me new releases or something on a Wednesday, or I'll share a layout and we'll go, so on a Wednesday, we're allowed to say that something's good or nice and we have to accept it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, we're all good. All right, so now we're going to dig into our pile of F pieces and we're looking for F5. F5. So we're going to open our 2 pages in here. And all being well, F5 will just fit perfectly into that space there like that. So this piece is stuck down completely, doesn't lift or flap. If it's a bit long, you may need to trim it, but it should fit nicely into that space.
This is where we're going to get what?
Hopefully it should.
Yeah. Perfect.
Excuse me.
my parents were listening in last night, and
Yes, baby D.
yeah, baby D, and I was told this morning, please, if that cough continues with Jenny, you need to go to the doctor.
Oh,
I'm like,
really?
sure.
Oh,
Monday, if you're still coughing,
Oh,
by order of my parents.
because your mum's got bronchitis, doesn't she?
She does
Mm.
actually. Yeah.
I've got some. Thank you. Thanks, though. Yeah.
she's got gingers. No, no.
So I had just trying to think of where we were. One of the classes, there's been so many, it's all a blur. I've had ladies going, can I make this into another flap, or can I do this and do? I think it was maybe at the retreat. So yeah, lots of people keen to put more into it. So yeah, it's awesome. How are we going? Linda, you still sticking yours? She's right. Was that a thumbs up? Go ahead. Okay, so we're looking for piece E for egg 3. E3. So that was this one. Okay, so we're just going to just fold it along the score line. So you've got your crease both ways. Okay. So you're going to turn it to the back. Now let me just get my. So if you've got it facing the right way, when you turn it over to the back, the part above the score line here should be 5 inches. So that should be 5 inches, and this should just be 4.5. So what we're going to do is put our tape on this 5-inch section at the top.
Yeah. E3, Jane.
Yes.
Yes, E3.
And that's
Okay, so this is when we scored it, that's 5 inches. Do you want to know the width?
no. I want to know from the top 5 inches, yeah, and the bottom is
4.5.
5.5. Yeah, I've got 5.5.
Did you turn it?
We did
Oh,
it the
okay.
wrong way, should we have scored?
I put it 4.5. It is 4.5 and 5.5.
Yep, so 5,
Mine's not.
5, and then 4.5. So does your piece measure 9.5 in total?
It's wrong. Mine's wrong.
You scored it the wrong way.
So this is what?
Sandy? is
Yeah,
that Sandy?
I should have scored it that way.
Okay, so this is the section where our tape is. So when you flip it over, the top section is the tape. It's going to line up on the bottom here. So this will flip up like this. Okay, so it's attached by this piece of tape there. So it should line up with the bottom of our stripe, and the bottom of it you want to line up with the piece of B7 and B8. That fold should be lined up with the bottom there. C2. How are we going? What do we think? Benita, story knows.
No questions.
No questions.
Everybody's following.
Okay, so our next piece is C2. I'm just going to quickly show you what we're working towards on the layout. So this is the flap we've just put down. Just ignore, yep. So we've got this part and we had our flap. So see how I've created like a bit of a faux pocket here. So it's going to attach completely at the back and we're making a pocket at the front. All right, so all will make sense in a moment.
That is cool.
Okay.
Oh, I like it.
Fan number one.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so we just need to work out where we're going to put our tape for it. So you've just got a little, maybe a pencil handy. So if you just lay piece C2 down, so you want to remember we've got our folds, so we don't want to go over that. So if you just work out where you want it to be, and then just fold it over, just do a bit of a pencil line along the top like that, then we know we're just putting tape along that bottom section there. Okay, so I'll just repeat that. Lay it down on that floral piece just like that. And you're just going to lift it over and then draw a pencil line along that edge. Then we're just going to put tape just below that pencil line in that section. Oh, okay, stop. Sorry. You're not putting tape on that part though.
Yes.
Sorry, just ignore that. I just won't pull it off. It's just on the three sides. So just left, bottom.
That's a pocket.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
a pocket.
Okay.
So please just ignore
So
this.
just don't put, well, that
Don't.
line just means don't put tape up.
Yeah.
So you. the
So
line's
just
helpful?
ignore
Yeah.
that bit there. So you're just going to put it on the three sides below the pencil line. Three sides below the pencil line, because this will be a pocket.
Show me the finished one, please.
It's going to be like this. That.
Sandy, folds down. There, the front's a pocket.
Okay.
See if I can just remove.
So it's
That's
this side,
that
so
side,
you
yeah.
can see.
Yep. There we go.
Probably just makes it worse by pulling that tape off. Now it looks like a line anyway. Anyway, so when you're ready to stick it down, you've got your tape on 1, 2, 3 sides. Just lay it down, close it back over. So now this is attached here, but this is open as a pocket. It's open as a pocket, completely attached at the back. One of those days today. My brain must be a bit mushy.
Very well.
You do, we have no questions. I've
You're
never
doing
had an
great.
online class with so few questions. The people are following.
Okay, that's good.
Look at Laura. She even looks happy.
Brace yourself for this afternoon.
Have you
Naomi.
ever seen a happy Lebanese person before?
I'm sorry, I'm missing the loud this afternoon.
Thank goodness she's muted because I think she was swearing.
So we have an insert that goes into this pocket, which was piece G2. Now, I did forget to score this piece, but you can it's just basically folding it in half this way. Okay, so you just fold it in half. And I just pop that into that little pocket there. So I only have one little insert. So if there's quite a few offcuts. You could make, using some cardstock, you could make some more inserts, more space for photos. If this is like a heritage album, you could add, oh, sky's the limit. Old letters from your granny, whatever you want to do. Do you call them grannies?
Yep.
Grannies?
Granny,
Yep.
Nana.
Yeah, that's such a cool Mother's Day card from Siobhan. It had all of it. You didn't miss one. Nana, Granny, Grandpa. Grandpa wasn't you? It was awesome. Yeah,
Nice.
all of them. It was wonderful.
Okay.
So you ate well, Dennis ate an Omar rusk. It's a
Mhm.
granny's
Ah,
rusk.
Granny's rusk. Okay, perfect. So that just one just slides into there. Later on, when you see when it's decorated, I think I add some of the tabs to it. Yeah. So you add a nice little tab. Yeah, makes just a little difference. And then I just added some decorative bit along the edge. So once the embellishing's done, it really does bring it to life. Okay, so we are now going to go back to these 2 pages. So we're going to work here, and we need pieces D2 and D3. D2 and D3. So these pieces were cut apart from each other. So you should be able to place them and work out where they lined up with each other. So they're going to go on the front here. So right up to the edge in the center. When the page opens, they'll separate again. Okay, so these are stuck down completely. D3 flush with the left edge, D2 flush with that right edge, and then just centered on that piece of paper.
I think what's nice with an online class is actually watching you do it, whereas a physical, class is more an instruction, not a visual.
Yeah. I think it is easier when you're watching someone
Yeah.
do it as well. So I don't know, you probably can't see it, but every piece of tape backing I pull off, I'm throwing on the floor. So Dennis,
Woke up at 5 this morning.
Dennis was out here this morning with the vacuum cleaner, cleaning my mess.
Waking the rest of the house up.
I did wonder that, but anyway. So there we go. Those 2 on the front there.
I actually really like that on your completed layouts, what you've created there. I think you've done a bit of embellishing, but
On here.
yeah,
No,
that's when you opened it, it was very, yeah,
with the 2 frames. Yeah.
show them.
So on the completed layout, from we remember we cut the last piece of paper we cut, and we had the frames. So then I've added them to the front of over the book paper as well. So we've got dot book paper and then those.
Yeah, that looks very cool.
This whole paper is very cool. Sure.
Antonio says I should prepare a hot lemon drink for you tonight. We've been dosing you.
Yes,
we
we've
call
been
it-
dosing.
Antonio, we call it med lemon in South Africa, but apparently it's the same. And Jenny gets.
Lemsip, I think we
You
call
call
it.
it lemsip.
Lemsip,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you're really old school, you can make it yourself with brandy.
Hot
Oh.
toddy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A hot toddy.
knock you out
But
overnight.
I think you have that. I think that's a British thing. Eh? A hot toddy.
A hot toddy. I think they have that even when they're not sick.
Yeah.
Who needs an excuse?
Yeah, we just have Irish coffees. Crazy. It's not even PE.
The lady that sent the message and said, can we just catch up?
Leander.
Can you just ask her to let me know when she's ready to move on then? Thanks.
So she just heard you asking me. That.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Leander, just let me know when you're ready. Give us a thumbs up on the WhatsApp group and.
See, I see it on my phone and it doesn't tell me the name. It just says, just gives me
okay.
the message. On my phone, on my watch.
Phone watch.
Yeah.
Got it. Shemna, you've got a bit of phone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right.
Halo's back. See Halo? Diane.
Yeah.
Diane was there.
Yep.
Diane, your halo's back.
Do you want me to make you one now? or just-
No, I'm fine. Yep.
Maybe have some water.
While we're waiting, ladies, don't forget you can also fussy cut C1 if you were looking for something to do while we're just waiting for catch up. Just had a ginger, so I'll just wait a sec. Any messages?
Let's see if I can- How's it going, Leander?
They normally with
She's
pets.
typing.
She's normally with pets.
With pets, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, they're really.
Ready?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so F3 is our next piece. We're going to be working on the front here. So F3, it's got a score line along here and here. So to start with, we're just running our tape along those two edges. So there. And here. So what we're going to do once we've done that is we're going to fold them to the back. folded our two stripy sections and put our tape on the back here like this. So this is the pocket that goes on the front here. So we want to only be able to get into it from one side. So what we're going to do, turn it over to the back then, and on the gold side, we're going to just run a strip of tape down that left edge. Okay, so we've got the two folded stripe bits at the back and then a bit of tape on the gold edge. So tape on the gold. So then when we flip it this way, that means that closed side is on the right. So there's our tape. The closed side is on the right. So it becomes a pocket that's open on the left edge. So you'll see it's the same width as the green paper, and you want to center it. So you're going to have the same gap top and bottom. So maybe just take one row of tape off at a time, like not top and bottom, just to make it a bit easier to line it all up. So you can see in here, it's open and it's quite a nice gusseted pocket. And on my layout, then I put out of the fussy cut sheet, I put the really nice lace with the scalloped edge on the front, and you've got your pull-out section behind. Is Gundi, are you still working on that one? You ready to go? Perfect. Okay, so we're just going to make the little insert that goes in behind there. So we're using the two pieces, H1 and G1. Now H1 has a score down here. So we're on the side, this side with the camera. I'm just going to run our tape just down that little section there.
Can I ask a really silly question?
Mm.
You're only using 1/4 inch tape, right?
Mm.
Why do you use a 1/2 inch score line?
I find that anything smaller than a 1/2 inch
It's just too small to work with.
It's too small to work with. Plus, with this, you can get a decent fold. Anything smaller, I find, it's harder to keep straight because the paper's quite thick. So, okay, so I just folded mine along there just to pre-fold it. Just it makes it easier to fold afterwards. So what we're going to do is G1, we're turning to this side. We've got a moment in time. So it's going to attach down onto that section there. So this is flat down, it's not folded in any way. So remove our tape backing, attach it down there. And once we've done that, that folds over the top and it's shorter because of the score line. Okay. Folds over. So on the finished layout, the booklet, when you pull it out, I put a tab on it so it actually looks really like it's meant to be pulled out. It's a tab pull. So it sits nicely there so you know that there's something to pull out. But just for the moment, we're just going to slide that in behind that pocket, that F3 pocket. It's just going to sit there. Once again, there's plenty of space in there to add more inserts, anything else that you want to add extra. Okay, and then that completes that side of the layout. Does anyone need another toilet or quick loo break, or we're right to go on?
Kerry, Laura, Diane, we're watching you for guidance. Do you want a loo break? No.
Anyone read? No, perfect. Okay, so just pop that to one side, but yeah, all good. So then we're going to need D1. And E2. So D1 and E2. E2 has a score. So once everyone's organised, we're going to run our tape on the floral side, just down that scored section on E2. This time with our fold, we're going to fold that to the back. Okay, so fold our section with our tape to the back and attach it to our left edge of D1. So it's going to fold open like that. Just a trick, make sure your lines on your paper are going across your page, not this way.
40 minutes, and then you don't have to speak for the rest of the day. You can rest your voice.
That's okay. You're assuming we'll be finished in 40 minutes.
I was about to say.
Sandy's needs her time. Please do not eat into it.
Oh, excuse me. Whoa.
What time is
Right.
it? One. Oh, one.
Yeah, we have an hour lunch.
Okay, so we've got that
Or
one.
nap.
No,
No.
Sorry.
I can go faster. It's just
No.
No.
No, we'll be done.
we have faith.
We can-
Mm.
I have faith. actually.
You've got
You do
faith
have
as
it,
well.
yeah.
Okay, so we need pieces F4 and H3. So these are just pieces that I've put into the layout just to add a little bit of interest. So it's just section here just to create the cluster behind here. So just generally, there's no real fixed rule, just those two pieces stuck down there.
Jenny Leslie Hill from New Zealand says hi. She's
Oh,
just
hi, Leslie.
come across the class.
Oh, that's awesome. Ask her, is she coming to Sens?
She can hear you.
Leslie, are you coming to Sens this year?
Something we sort of lack in South Africa now, which we used to have in the old days, but a sense is like a scrapbooking convention.
Oh, big conventions.
Yeah.
That's new, yeah.
So Jenny's been invited last year and this year to go over to New Zealand and teach at SENS.
Oh, wow.
Last year I was invited, but this year I invited myself.
Yeah, well, that's it.
So you do.
And we had a whole lot of people saying this morning they weren't going to SENS and now they're going.
Oh,
So
well,
we'll have to have a word with the organisers.
no, don't say that. I'm sure that's not the reason. I'm sure they would have gone anyway.
Well, yes.
You know I don't like that stuff. So stop it.
I'll stop it. It's
Stop
not
it.
Wednesday.
Yeah, it's not Wednesday.
I'll wait for
Stop.
Wednesday.
No, stop.
Compliment Wednesday.
Stop. Ready, Gundi? Thank you. Okay, so the next piece is A3. You have to go fast because I've got to make room for Sandy. I've been told. So when we fold A3, the green sides together, we get a small cream flap. That's where we're going to put our tape on that part there.
Wendy Murray, Jenny is definitely a big draw card for SENS.
Aw.
Leslie Hill, are you teaching? Because her and her friend will come into a class.
Yeah, I am
So,
teaching. Yeah.
there we are. So
Mhm.
you are teaching.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep. Okay. So this time our paper is going to sit flat. So we're not folding this back anyway. We're going to attach it flat. Now to line it up, so it's going to stick on the right side here, but we're going to line it up first on the left. So see when you fold this, you've got a strip of the maroon and then you've got the fold. We need to line it up with the fold, not the edge of the maroon, the fold. Okay, so once that's lined up there, you're going to center it top and bottom. Then you stick it on this edge here. So it flips up like that. Okay, so remember lining it up with the fold, not the edge. Line it up with the fold. Center top and bottom. Move your backing and stick that down.
I'm sorry. What did you call that color?
No, it's shame, leave it.
I can't let that go.
Leave
Did
it.
you call it maroon?
Maroon, sorry.
Maroon. Oh,
What color is it?
maroon.
Marie?
I'm sorry.
No.
Go the Maroons. Go Queenslander.
So
Maroon.
genuinely, that's
You're
what
gonna
you
be-
call it, maroon.
Right.
Okay,
Are you?
like a moron.
But it's got a double O.
But it's maroon. Are you marooned on a desert island? That colour's maroon or burgundy.
Burgundy.
Burgundy. Let's use burgundy.
Let's use
Burgundy's good.
Nice burgundy.
Okay.
Why not burgundy?
Well, yeah,
Like a Bordeaux.
maroon and burgundy.
Oh, it's gonna be a long.
Sorry, Jen.
Oh, Jane.
Carry on with your maroon.
We call it a moron, but we're not going to go there.
No.
Send us a special email.
Yep.
Thank you.
We're warming up.
Okay, so C4, when we're done with that. So Gundi, you all right with that last one? Oh, look at it. It's just different person. Okay, so what we're going to do is stick the tape on this section. So it has a fold. So let's fold the clock pieces together. And then you end up with this piece that's got like the abstract pattern on it. So this abstract pattern piece, that's where our tape's going to go. Unless Dennis has a name for that design.
No. Oh, keep it quiet now.
Okay.
Baby D. Oh, baby D's in trouble.
But yeah.
So this piece is C4. Yep. Okay, so C4, so just in that little abstract section to the left of the score line. Coffee stain?
Nice.
If you drink like Sandy, she'll copy down her shirt today. Dance on your paper.
Okay, is everybody honky dory? All right, so this time we've got our section with our tape folded to the back. So here's our fold line on the left. So it's going to fit into this space that we've created here. So here's our fold coming up there. So we're almost up to that fold, but not over it. And this flap will just sit before this section here. Centered top and bottom. And so that will lift up like this.
need to post it.
Remember to make the post-it note to yourself.
Maybe a D1. There.
We had we were in one class. Whose shop was that? I don't know. We were somewhere and we'd stuck it together and someone sandwiched their post-it note in between the two pieces. It's very funny.
Oh, yes. I think that was in the, yeah.
No,
It's not.
no. I'm sure it was one of the ones in Cape Town.
Yeah. I think it could have been.
Well,
Chile,
D1 was nearly
so-
part of my house.
We're going, ladies. We're all good. Lindy's ready to go. Look at that. Okay, so we've got two pieces, F2 and E4. So what we're going to do with them is just fill in this vacant slot here. So first up, I'd just put E2 in, close up to the edge here, bit of a gap top and bottom. And once that one was stuck down, then I want to put it flush with the edge of this piece. So it overlaps this one. And once again, just stepping down slightly from the top and the bottom. So the stripe's going to line up with the left of A3 there. And E4 is going to line up with the edge of C4 there. So they're just stuck down, just pieces filling in that gap that are there. Can I please order some giraffe to just pop their head in for a while?
Oh, no, yeah.
Benita, where's the fox?
Oh, I know that home. Maybe
Shame,
babysat.
man.
Meow.
We could have had them to play with.
Just great. Caleb, he's cute enough.
He's a soccer.
Adorable.
Jenny, do you have a favorite sort of color scheme to work with?
I think I'm drawn to like richer colors, not so much pastel-y, more like autumn sort of tones. I think it's about tone rather than color.
Like
Yeah.
maroon.
Yeah.
Like Benita, like her dress is like the blues and all that. Like I really like that.
Oh.
And then, you know, I like this tone. I don't know. It's hard. So it's not specific, like it's not pink or it's not green. It's just the combination of the tones
The
together,
tones.
the richer sort of colors, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, it's meeting for me.
This is doing so well.
Oh, no questions.
No questions?
Facebook, WhatsApp, there's
Oh,
nothing.
well, good. So this piece was, so C4 is fairly plain on the front. So what I did was I got pieces B9. So I'll just take that off the front. So B6 and B9. So it's just going to make use of the lace. So I had this one at the top here, and then B6 I've turned around. And don't worry about the flower being upside down because I'm looking on this one now. So this is the page, just bring it up. So this is the page here. So we've just got that bit of lace, the top and there. So
Very
just
nice.
making use of that pattern in that paper. So centered, and so just slightly down from the top, up from the bottom. So both those pieces are stuck down there. So it was B6 and B9 were the pieces, and we're sticking it on to C4. And blowing it up.
What sort of proportion of time do you spend on construction versus decorating at the end?
So construction, I don't know, it's probably the longest process. It can take a week to 2 weeks of paper shuffling and putting bits down and walking away and coming back and trying to make things different every time. So you're not seeing the same kind of stuff all the time. You might see similar folds, but just in the different ways. So that can, like I say, a week or to 2 weeks. Decorating, once you get to that, so once you've done your construction, embellishing and decorating is probably just a solid day.
Okay.
Just standing there, you've got all your bits and it's just working out, oh, okay, so I've got this here, where am I going to put my photo? What bits have I got to decorate it? It's not, it's a different type of thinking.
Yes.
Because you're not cutting and you're making sure everything works in.
It must be tricky because you do tend to change your layout. No two really look the same.
I try to make them,
so
yeah,
to come
different.
up with different things, quite challenging.
Yeah. So ladies, this B3 piece is the next one. It's just going to almost to the right edge of this C4, just in that space there. Once again, we're just building a background for our photos. So we'll stick that down. And then it's a matter of going through and measuring every piece of paper and working out, because I don't make notes when I create, I have to go back and work out which piece of paper is that, where's that from, how did I manage to get those out of that? Is that out of page 1 or page 2? Yeah, so that's another bit. And then I have to take photos and import them into Word and resize them and merge them and write the words that go with it. So it's a process.
Yeah, I think most scrapbook teachers, the common complaint is the notes afterwards.
Yeah. And making the words easy to understand, and just because I say it a certain way doesn't mean that's the way you think. So I think having the photos makes it really easy for people to understand what I'm talking about. So if I can show you, okay, that's it stuck, that's it half lifted, that's it down, as opposed to how many words would you need to say that to make it? Okay. See. So Gundi, have you got B3 stuck? Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go over to the front here and we're sticking down C3. So C3, let me see. So it's an inch down from the top and just ever so slightly in from the left. Let me just check my page to see. Okay. So we just, this is the cluster. This is where we are here. So this is just this piece up here. Okay, so it's about an inch down, just a couple of mil in from the left.
Enid is asking, is B3 glued on all four sides?
Is that the piece we just put down? C3?
Yeah, B3. Is B3 glued? There it is there.
This one,
It's
yes,
stuck
it
there.
is, yes. Sorry, it's stuck down completely.
It could be Enid saying things.
Yeah. Okay, how are we going? Everyone got this piece stuck? Perfect. All right. So this one was F1. So F1 has a score. So I'm going to fold it along the score and our tape's going on this gold section.
How much was the score?
Oh, this is 2 inches, this one. 2 inches.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Jenny, maybe on Facebook, Rosemary's asking if you do interactive pages with all of the bulk packs.
Pretty much.
Mostly.
Yep. I've pretty much done them with all the bulk packs. So, yep. Can I just check that everyone has their tape on and ready for me to show you where to stick this one? Okay. So it goes down like this, but the easiest way to explain it to you is this is where it is. So this is going to line up flush with that edge and stick down. So when it folds down though, you'll just have that little gap, but you just need to line it up with the green, stick it, and then that folds over. So you end up with the gold on the top. Question?
Someone unmuted themselves for a sigh.
Oh dear. So when you're ready to look for the next piece, we're looking for D4. So what you find is when you hold up these two pieces, you've got like a bit of a section in between the two score lines. That's where D4 is going to sit. Okay?
Flat.
Yep, just
Like
flat.
that.
And in the center, same distance top and bottom, just making sure you don't go over either of those score lines. But it should just fit nicely in that space.
In the center.
In the center.
Mr.
Fen.
Mrs. Feng.
Mrs.
Center.
Yes.
But today we Mrs. Feng. Tomorrow it's Mr. Those rule today.
We've got 10 minutes, Sandy, sorry.
No, we'll just carry on. Sandy doesn't have to finish at 5.
So you can just slave all through the night.
Yeah.
You can ask anybody that's ever taught from Celebr8. We are slave drivers.
Slave driving.
Okay, so that's just, D4 is just sitting there.
Looking
Happily,
gorgeous.
merrily, merrily, merrily. Merrily, merrily, merrily.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
Maybe grandkids will learn Clover again.
So, Benny, the
No, it
last
doesn't
one,
go.
you can't sing any songs because when you upload this to YouTube, it says copyright infringement, and they edit out that portion
Just
of
like
your
Happy
video.
Birthday or something.
Yeah.
Ready, Gundi? Thank you. Okay. So what we're going to do now is,
Oh, Michelle says we're not slave drivers.
Oh,
Michelle, please come back. You can come back again.
That's why they come back, because they love it.
okay, so we had pieces B2 and B1. So what we're going to do with them, it doesn't matter which way because we're using the spot. They need to go right to the bottom and right to that right edge. So they're stuck on the gold piece, right to the bottom and to the edge, and this one's right to the top and to the edge. Okay, so that's B1 and B2. Bananas.
Oh, my lordy, lordy, lordy.
She's feeling better. Assistant drops.
Do you get that in South Africa?
Yep.
Jenny, Rosemary's asking how does she go about purchasing your instructions? I think she's South African.
If she's in South African, she can go to Sandy.
Sandy from Backyard Scrap
Yeah, yep.
sells them on your behalf.
Correct,
All the
yes.
money proceeds go straight back to Jenny. It's just as a favor.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you're in Namibia and you're interested in the notes,
Yep,
Carol
we'll get
Berger is now going to start sending on that side.
Yep.
So this is all
Sandy's
just
our
as a
dealer.
favor. It's just all the money
I'm the
goes
dealer.
back to Jenny.
Yeah. Very fun thing.
They are. I very much appreciate my
Your dealer.
my dealer.
Good dealers.
My dealers. Just making it available for people that like it.
Well, it helps us because we might move a pack, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really does help us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good. Yes.
So you buy your pack from your local store, your bulk pack, and you just get the notes from Sandy in South Africa or Carol in Namibia.
Mm.
If you're tuning in from Australia, obviously you can buy directly from Jenny or from
Jenny
stores, I
Heaslip,
suppose.
scrapbooker.com.au,
There we go.
which is currently on holidays because she's away in South
Push
Africa.
away. And if you're in New Zealand, I'm sure they
They can
just
purchase
send you a
direct through
mail.
me. Yeah. So
If they have PayPal, they can also purchase directly. through
Yes,
you.
if you have PayPal, yeah. Okay, so B5. Okay, so B5, I'm going to turn it this way because this is upside down. We've got a small 1/2 inch score at the top here. Okay, so just give that a bit of a hold. So our tape on this 1/2 inch section is going on this side, not the spot side, on the cream side, just over that lace bit there. Well, it's not over the lace, but the burgundy part. I won't say maroon because I'll just get
Maroon. Sorry, it just sounds different. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing.
You know,
different.
I might be using that for now.
Next time when the song comes on the radio, it's maroon.
Maroon bar.
When I met Grant and I had a good go in red color, I was like, you know, it's burgundy, it's this, they're like, no, it's got to be a Pantone. I'm like, no, but don't,
Oh.
no, it must be like Hunter's green or like, you know, like emerald. And no, so like they would have loved a maroon.
Maroon.
So this is what we've done. So we're going to fold that to the back now. Okay, so we folded it over to the back. So what we're going to do, I'll give you a couple of instructions. This piece here is going to attach along here. But if you fold it open again, so see how we folded this down, this bottom edge of this, actually, let's straighten, I'm changing my direction. Let's just straighten it all out back out again so it's flat. Okay, we haven't folded it, it's flat. So flip it over and it's going to line up with the bottom edge of that dot. It's the same paper going over the same pattern, so it's a bit hard to, so you're going to line up those bottom edges and then that will fold down like that. Okay, so line up the bottom edge of this with the bottom edge of that dot. It's one of those dodgy
dots.
dodgy dots. So lining up bottom with bottom, and then you're going to fold that down and then fold this up. Jennifer, you have done an atrocious job there. Oh, man, that's so crooked. Man, oh, man.
Not the only one.
Oh no, that's an interesting tool.
You guys get those,
There's
don't you?
little, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's why.
You can use it for your file.
We have a pot scraper in the kitchen that looks
It's
like
pretty,
that.
they're pretty
Oh, they're
similar.
similar, okay.
Anyway, whoever cut that, just wasn't me. But anyway,
It wants to be the guillotine.
I'll just make it work. There we go. Perfect. All right, so flips up, got it down, and we folded this bottom piece up along like that. Okay. Perfecto. Perfecto. Okay. So now we're going to take out of our pile, we want H2. Now, what I did for this one, let's get H2 and G3, these two pieces. H2 and G3. So I will just show you. So this is the configuration that I did. So I had that up there, that there, and then this will lift up and you'll have photos. So I'll just quickly show you on my layout. So we've got those two pieces there. Lift this up. So you've got your photos here, you've got that, and your doily. An alternate to that would be if you wanted to have this and maybe that up there, down the bottom, something a bit different. If you wanted to have those words up there, though, that's fine. I'm not offended if you would rather keep that. But this is what I did. And then I stuck the big lace cutout over the top. So you may choose to, it's not crucial to the construction of the layout now to stick this down. If you want to think about it, and maybe when you go to put your own personal photos on it, you decide which way you choose, that's fine. Maybe just paperclip them there. But otherwise you can stick it down now, which is what I'm going to do.
Okay, at the window.
So
She doesn't have a-
No, no, no.
okay, so those two pieces there now. If you haven't already fussy cut B4, that's the next step that we're going to. So once you have these two down, we've got B4, which was the one that we needed to fussy cut. So when I fussy cut around this, I only went to the top white flower. I didn't keep the red one. Yeah.
You're the weakest link. Goodbye.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't go into too much detail, just around those little furry bits. Question?
Somebody answered it for you, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, this man was just asking where she could get large sheets of chipboard.
Oh, okay.
She's in KZN, so that's it, Sandy.
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 Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So the other thing I did do was I just cut out this little part in the center here as well.
So, yeah, Jenny, just so you know, I'm busy sucking up to the New Zealand lady here because she's very complimentary. So I'm like, oh, we really want to come to New Zealand. She's like, please come.
Wendy or
Leslie.
Leslie? Oh,
yeah.
Leslie's. You
So
know-
our New Zealand trip might happen one day.
You know how I always pick an assistant in class? Yeah, Leslie's been my assistant
assistant.
before, so yeah.
Laura's asking the exact measurement. It's 12 by 12 and a half, Laura.
Yes. So 12
Actually,
high.
12 and a half by 12 because it's width by height.
Yes,
12 and
so
a
it's
half
12 and a half by
by
12. Yeah.
See, doing a class like this has got like listening skills and all that sort of stuff involved. It's good for like Alzheimer's and,
Hmm.
you know, exercising your brain. Did you just cut around that flower, Jen?
Which one?
The one you're busy doing now?
Yeah. I just didn't go in too much. I just.
One of the first things I noticed with this layout was this flap is very different to what you normally do.
Oh, okay.
Like a fussy cut and then flapping down. It's quite cool, yeah.
So I just cut out this little section here. It's just so you've got a hint of the photo behind when you stick it down. So this flap piece then is designed to stick to this front flap here. So you just need to work out how much of it. So once again, you could lay it down there, and then just with a pencil on the back, just put a bit of a mark, which you can't see now. Let's measure it. So that's 2.5 inches. So maybe if you just put tape 2.5 inches, like how it goes. So maybe then just a little bit below that.
Yes, that's not a pocket. We're going to put,
No, it's going to be
take
stuck
that,
down.
okay?
So just about 2.5 inches on the bottom of
Okay, all
that.
around, yeah.
Yeah. And then that's just going to stick on the front there. So the whole the whole thing flips down and up. Like I said to you, with this one, you just get the hint that there's a photo underneath. So when you've got a proper photo, not just a photo mat, you'll be able to see, you know, maybe you can focus on something in that area there.
Very, very cool. I think I have told you that this for me is one of my favorites, the real layouts.
This one?
This good, yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe because it's, I don't know, just a different, maybe
It's got burgundy on.
maroon.
Around people.
So once you had that stuck to the front, the next step would just be putting H4 just here. I'll just show you again on mine. So this is the section. I had this here and I just had a small photo up there. Just decorate it with a few of the scallop trims from the bottom of the papers. That's H4, that goes up there. What?
Laura, Hannah, what's your question? I'm not following you, sorry. Laura. Laura asked a very confusing question. I'm not really following.
No, Jenny said the chipboard, she added 1/4 of an inch on the side. Now they're saying 1/2 an inch.
No, half an inch.
Half an inch.
Half an inch
Okay,
on the
That's
chipboard.
it.
Sorry.
Thank you. Imagine cutting 200 chipboards and they're the wrong size.
No,
So
half
that's
an
why I'm
inch.
just asking. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Sandra's just commented on the WhatsApp saying, wow, so beautiful.
Oh, that's nice.
Your little chef sandwich.
This one.
I love it when they start getting thick like this. It's like
Yeah, got some substance to it.
lovely. Yes.
It's like I say to people, when you first do these layouts, it's like a new haircut. Everything's all, but after a while, the paper softens and yeah, you get much better.
Becomes like a worn book.
Mm.
Can I just check what we're up to? Is everybody caught up to me? Gundi, have you all got all your pieces stuck? She disappeared.
Oh, she might have had to go because after what was
Yeah, I saw some people picking up their next piece.
okay.
So the next step is to go back to this one, I4. What we want to do is cut out the green piece, but we want to go around the banner. So we want to keep the banner on the page. So I'll just show you here. So I've stuck the family banner, but this banner here belongs to the inner frame as well. Okay, so we're just going to cut the green. We don't need to keep this green, so we can cut it out.
Beautifully.
Okay. And what I did was I just cut around the lace at the top and the bottom.
Jenny Vilma was telling me last night she will often buy your instructions and switch out with another sort of Celebr8 collection because the papers are really following the formula. You're able to.
Yeah, I've done that quite a few times myself. Yeah.
With your own. Wow.
Okay.
Well, I guess with the plastic cut sheets and the journaling, it's different.
It
Even
is,
if it's the same concept.
Yeah. And some, they may have I know some of them you have on the lower left and some you have on the upper left. So sometimes that might be a bit tricky, but yeah, there's always ones you can work around. So this gets attached on the front here and in the center. But as you can see, you need to slide your photos in behind. So what you might like to do is maybe just tack it there, just attach it slightly on the top or the bottom. And then when you get your photos in, you can stick it down completely. But yeah, just temporarily put it there, maybe even attach it on 3 sides. Okay. Yeah, tin tuna.
Tim.
Yes, yes, I do. Okay, so we had the C one, which was the other fussy cut piece. I'll just tell you where it goes, so then you can just clip it in for later. So it is over. So remember where we had this big piece here? It's just going to go in that section there. So I'll show you on my page. It's just in that corner, creating your cluster. So if you have fussy cut it out, you're more than welcome to just tack it in the corner. Otherwise, just clip it in. That's where that goes. So now you will have a few pieces like this left over. These are mainly bits that I've used to embellish my layout. And you need to have your photos to finish them off. So like I was showing the ladies last night, we've got up to the point where in my notes that you've got, so step 82, that's where we've got up to now. So I'm just going to try and make it a little bit bigger. When you get them, the next steps show you my photo sizes, where all my embellishment clusters and things go. So as you go forward from this point, eventually you'll find a piece labeled I5. So that's where I put that piece. Okay. So all these, they just show you all the bits and pieces. So you just follow through. These are just guidelines where I've put my photos, what my photo sizes are. Please feel free to change it to suit your photos. You might have, you might want all 10 by 5 jumbo photos. Jumbos.
6 by 4, 10 by 5.
Yeah, you might have all jumbo photos and you want to change it to suit yourself. Now, what I've done with my chipboard is I've just used a brown ink and then I've put Anita's. Yes, Anita's to give it a bit of a glossy sheen to it. So that's all that I've done with my chipboard on that layout. So does anyone have any questions? Are they not quite sure what they need to do next or where we're at?
What number do we start? The left pieces that you said was 86.
86, so it's the last number. 82 was the last step number. After that, it's not numbered. It just says, here's your photos, and you're just following them through in order. Thank you, ladies. You've been amazing. I'm kind of feel like it's been so quiet on this end.
If you're following along on Facebook, we will be uploading this video onto the YouTube page as well. And there will be a link. Jenny has very generously made the notes for these layouts available, the instructions. So you will be able to grab them there. If you're a paid delegate, please don't worry. If you look inside your goodie bag, we've overcompensated and you've got a lot of stuff in there. So we just, this is the last sort of event we're doing in this format. In the future, we have an announcement at the end of the event of how we're going to go forward with online.
What time is that?
So that'll be tomorrow.
Stay tuned.
But,
Stay tuned.
but go to enjoy your lunch. We're going to obviously be back in an hour, so we'll log on obviously at 1 o'clock for Sam's class, but we'll probably start at about 1:15. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to end this recording now, and we'll see you all back at 1 o'clock.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Jay.